Well, I mean, hey, YouTube, I just started the video. I didn't even give Robert any warning because that's just how we roll. We didn't script anything. We didn't play anything. Nope. But you know what I was thinking first? The pocket drop.
Oh, God. All right.
Did you prep? Did you come prepared with a pocket drop?
I did.
I mean, you always
I grabbed my
Mine's
my
going to be
toys.
interesting.
I did grab my toys. I don't think I got anything too crazy.
Okay, we'll go 1 for 1.
All right, 1 for 1.
So you drop 1, I drop 1.
All right. Let's, we're going to start with knives or just everything?
We can do everything.
All right.
So, whatever's first.
Damn chair. All right,
so...
I'm starting with my flashlight.
All right, you got
a flashlight on you?
No, I don't have a flashlight, but I got my Archbishop.
All right, so I will...
I don't have a little flashlight yet.
I will raise you with a Fortis.
Let's see. I will... I see your Fortis and have a Reat. Horizon D.
All right. Well, I will raise you a Tatanka.
Well, I don't have anything that big, but I have this.
That's what she said.
I have my Microtech Ultratech.
Ultratech. Huh. See, I think I got something along those lines. Benchmade auto riff.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's see. I'm pretty much out of. Oh no, I'm not. I'm sorry, I missed one. My Cold Steel. Triple action.
Huh. All right. Well,
you guys that are on YouTube, you should have been signed in because I'm telling you right now.
The Megalodon.
You're missing, Megalodon. I got Chris Reeve Spenza.
Oh, hey, that's cute. I got one of those too. Earlier serial model though.
I got one of my neck knives that I made.
Oh, what else do I got? Do I have a neck knife? No, no neck knives. Oh, I do have a leek. I've had this since I was like 10 years old.
Why do I feel like I'm forgetting some? Oh, that's right, I am. Here we go. I forgot because I ran out of room for knives. I put a gun in my waistband.
Yeah.
Oh no, the GoPro fell.
Oh shit.
See, this is why each one of these YouTube videos is gonna be a little different.
Oh yeah, very real. Oh yeah, just going.
My
they were still recording.
XD right 45 ACP, 5-shot mag, 1 in the tube.
Yo, the pen is mightier than a sword sometimes. When you're on a freaking airplane, this thing comes in handy. Yeah, a Benchmade tactical pen. Not bad. I've had this thing for years. It started off red. This was a gift from my father.
So if you guys haven't ever seen this, I said I'm eventually going to do a review on this. This is that Urban Carry deep concealment holster. You can wear it all day and no one even knows you got it. Are we empty?
I think I'm empty.
I think I'm empty. Yeah. So
you
guys can see.
I did have this on me.
There's a significant amount of stuff on that table. Yeah, we know that we're not in frame. This is more for Instagram.
0 ground. Wrapped handle. That is the leather underneath there. That is hippo. It's actually hippo.
Like hippo, like hippopotamus?
Hippopotamus, yes. That's hippo leather under there.
Is that even legal?
You know, it's it's completely legal.
See?
It died a natural
I
causes.
told you guys you should log into the Instagram feed because you only get to see this. Well, I mean, this is the important part here. So.
Where is this motherfucker?
This looks like a lot like something that I saw at the shop. We can sit down now so that we can get in frame.
Right on, yeah. Put my ass in the chair.
He gets some of that coffee. I'll be right back. I gotta go get something because I think some of the problem is that lens is dirty. So Robert.
There's all the splooge that you get on it. You gotta have a clean hand, alright?
Clean optics.
Alright, you gotta have one hand that's clean.
Don't hold real still, guys. Hold real still. Don't blink. Don't blink.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere. Don't blink. Don't blink. There we go. How much better is that? Look how much better that is.
I meant to get this guy cut out for Mike this morning, but yeah, I was just I made some bagels and stuff and got some put
your coffee in this
cream cheese. Ooh, that's a cool cup.
Came all the way from Japan.
Yeah.
So
how do you say that?
Ibis.
Ibisu?
Ibis. I have one too.
Ibis. That's it. Ibis.
Yep, Ibis. So what Robert was talking about is I had a piece of scrap that we found in the shop up at Chris and Elliot's, and just playing around. I'd never really had a plan for it. I was just playing around, and the scrap looked a lot like it had a knife in it. I mean, the handle basically was already there because of the way it was cut out. So I just took a piece of steel, and I just cut it out and put a blade design on it. Well, I showed it to a guy, and it's going to have a wrapped handle. And so the guy really liked it, and the guy that had given me a plate of Alabama Damascus steel, and he said, "That's what I want." He said, "I want that in that piece of Damascus that I gave you."
Some high carbon stuff too.
Yeah, it's gonna look nice. It's gonna come out good.
Yeah, it's got like a nice patina on it with all the high carbon spots you could see. They're starting to oxide.
This is for sale. This is for sale. I'm selling this.
Yeah, this is cool seeing like a billet like this that was like you could tell it was like hand forged, because this is not flat at all, not even close. You're gonna have a lot of fun.
I think that was probably a little bit of drop that was left over when they made a sheet, and he got it because he uses it for inlays on stuff. He makes high-end vapes, and he uses them for inlays and sheets, to put on face plates. He does some really, really amazing high-end work on vapes.
Yeah, some interesting patterns there.
There's gonna be.
I wonder why that's there. I don't know. It's like a blob.
Yeah.
But who knows? That could just be a spot that just you get ground out.
Yeah. Well, and that piece isn't going to be in my.
Yeah, I see. Yeah,
It's not in the blade.
He planned around it. You see, I was talking about the spot right here. Yeah, it's like a little shadow.
So if I make anything out of the leftover, that would probably wind up being in the handle area of it.
Yeah.
I had another design in mind for it at first. I was going to it's traditional Japanese clutch dagger that it winds up looking like a Quaken.
They was going for that. They look oversized butter knife.
It would have been a traditional tanto. It would have been thin. It would have been apple seed grind all the way up, and it was something I was planning on doing.
Yeah, hidden tang.
It was gonna be down inside. It was gonna be pinned with a just like the sword that we have up at Elliot's shop we don't think is ever gonna get done, because I don't think that project's ever gonna happen.
Don't stop me from playing with it.
I'm gonna repin the handle back on it for him, so that at least he has I had a Japanese sword that it wasn't that it was a beater. I used it when I was taking martial arts, and I'd use it for practice. And there was a little crack in the handle, and it wasn't something significant that if you're gonna be messing around with it you can't overcome. But it had a little bit of crepitus where the pieces would crack, and it bothered me, and I was afraid it was going to actually, the way I use a sword, going to come apart in my hand, and I didn't want a 4-foot razor blade flying across the living room.
Your clip is loose, bro. I got you.
Is my clip loose?
Yeah, I got you.
How did my clip get loose?
I don't know, it's a little loose though.
Oh wow.
But I got my little handy dandy Benchmade tool here. I got this thing while I was in North Carolina, actually. I was in a schoolhouse for my MOS.
Spader Knife Works said, hey there.
Oh, what's up?
Hey there.
Hey, bud.
Hey there.
Thanks for joining us.
Welcome to my kitchen. So if you guys that follow Robert,
Casa de Imler.
If you guys that follow Robert would follow me as well, that would be great.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you guys aren't,
and you guys that are on my YouTube channel, if you don't follow Robert, you probably should, because Robert has a lot of really cool stuff on Instagram, and actually just started his YouTube channel. Is this going to be your second video?
It was going to be my second video. I started one the other day, but my girlfriend called me and got a little interrupted.
The magic of editing.
Yeah. Well, and I was like kind of just pacing around. I started recording, and I was like, maybe that wasn't such a good video.
So I don't know what he's talking about. You guys watch my videos all the time. Is there any flow or thought process put into my videos?
That, and I realized I was like covering the mic with my finger again. I'm not used to.
You're like, Mike's gonna make comments. He's gonna be like, "Here's a cock in his mouth again."
Yeah, I'm used to taking pictures with my phone. I don't do a whole lot of videos, and so this is kind of a new thing for me.
It's a big fucking spider cow. You guys got to see this in the last video.
Actually,
that's a big spider cow.
I'm planning on reprofiling that. Actually, I'm gonna make it.
You're gonna do a full flat?
No, not in that sense. Maybe a regrind. Well, actually, more than likely a regrind. But not really that. I want to change the whole, like, the silhouette of it. So yeah, I want to make it really, really trim, because it's quite a tank, and I think it would be fun just to make it a little lighter, just something that was just a little bit lighter. So as most of you probably will agree, Spydercos are ugly as hell. They feel great.
I would be probably one of the few people that disagree. I find Spydercos aesthetically pleasing. I find they're awesome knives. And, well, you know what? When I say that, the first time I ever saw one, I was like, what the fuck is this thing? Because it's got that weird... The handles always have this weird angle to them. But once you grab a hold of one, you're like, ooh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and in this case, it's in the form of an Imler. Hey,
You can have
Beggars
coffee.
can't be
I'm gonna have
choosers.
coffee flavored beer.
Yeah, but yeah, I want to drop this down. I think I could really make this thing look really sleek and trim.
Just have to be careful not to take too much material off
Yeah.
the back where the spring is.
Well, not only that. Well, the cool thing is the back isn't the problem with the shape I have. It's really this inside and mostly this region right here.
See magic trick, guys? Watch my cup.
Oh yeah.
You guys don't get to see it because you're not on the live Instagram.
Yeah, we got a good view over here on Instagram.
So what happens with this cup, because this cup's awesome. My father-in-law bought this for me at the brewery. You're not going to be able to see it. This beer's too dark.
Ooh, that's a cool cup though. I like that fogged out glass. That's like blasted.
Yeah, but that's going to change colors.
Oh shit, it is.
Yeah?
It is changing colors. Yeah, it's
You
like,
guys aren't really going to be able to see it, but the you can see
check
that
that shit out.
the cold activates the ink.
Right on. That's fucking cool, dude.
Beer.
Right on.
It's time for a beer.
Yeah.
It's past noon.
Well, I just got this that Lucky Jack, some of that Lucky Jack stuff, and
You want me to pee in it for you?
some almond milk.
Told you guys, this is going to be this is basically Robert's live feed, but we're putting it on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to talk about a couple things. Because Robert
yeah,
has got
that's
some
a good
really
one.
cool stuff he's coming up with.
Got some more people joining. Awesome.
That's good because we're going to talk about your stuff, and then I actually, some of my YouTube folks know, I started making knives. I'm not great at it yet, but
Takes time, brother.
I have probably some of the best mentors and tutors
Well,
in the business out there between Robert and the Williamson brothers.
I strongly believe you can achieve anything if you really put your mind to it. And although Mike being the guy he is, I think with his training and military experience and stuff and his leadership experience, he knows what to listen to. And we might fuck around and bullshit a lot and play around at helms, maybe cut up a bunch of paper and we like to make a mess.
We make a mess for the day bartender. He really gets upset because we'll just get a magazine and just cut it up into confetti and just leave it lay, and then walk out. And Troy, who is our friend, who was one of the bartenders, will let us do that and be like, "Ha, it's funny." And then
Because he's not gonna clean it.
Austin just loses his mind on me the next time. He's, "What the fuck is wrong with you? You and Boettger up here cutting paper up," and so.
But all that being aside, all the childish fun, I think my mom told me a long time ago, is to not grow up. There's certain things just don't grow up. Try to stay fun. Like it keeps you young and spry. I don't know what the word would be.
You guys have heard me say it, and you guys are going to hear me say it for the first time. It's okay to be an adult. That's a definition of age. Don't be a grown-up, because that's when they take your soul.
Don't grow up.
That's when they take your soul. If you wake up in the morning and it's raining and you don't want to jump in puddles, just pack it in.
Yep, you ain't living. You gotta get out there and enjoy yourself.
So, Robert
I was
has
saying something,
made-
actually. Hold on. I'm gonna lose my train of thought, bud. All right,
that
but I was
station
saying
left, that train left the station a while ago.
So what I'm saying is, if you put your mind to it, and Imler's one of those guys that takes advice and runs with it. He takes it in like a sponge. And maybe it's something about guys in the military, but you take all that information, but there's something about us that we filter all the bullshit really fucking good. And he's one of these guys that when he sees something that is smart and makes sense, he takes it and adapts it to himself. And I strongly believe like his I'd tell you like his I don't know, progression as a knife maker, you'll see it's going to be exponential. Like I've already seen it with the Kiri-dashis and with his fixed blades. Like, it's kind of like if you look back at any of Elliot's earlier work, right? Some of it's really crude, and some of the things are maybe questionable that he was doing. But he learned through his experience, and just he had to go through it. He didn't have someone. And the cool thing about like myself and Mike here is that we have just picked up everything fast. We just keep on moving and keep growing. And I think that's important as a knife maker, as a craftsman. And I think he's got a good chance. Yeah, definitely. And I have a feeling like you're gonna start seeing some design changes. If you look at the shape of this knife, yeah, with all the finger choils and stuff, and although I know he planned all this stuff, and you look at this other knife that he has here, right, like there's some design things that he's changed. Okay, his designs are starting to shift a little bit. Okay, And
this was just a plaything. I had no intention of it coming out the way it did. It actually came out a lot better than I thought it was going to. It was going to be something for me to practice grinding on, and it came out way better than I thought it would. Because this was my first full flat grind.
It's a good looking knife. I mean, yeah, thanks.
There's a couple little hiccups I still need to take out where I got into it a little hard with the Scotch-Brite wheel.
Yeah, but this is a knife that someone's gonna be able to actually freaking use.
It's gonna be a beater.
It's definitely gonna be a beater. Yeah.
And it's kind of a bushcraft thing. You could use that. It would work as a cooking tool. You could use it for just about anything.
Pretty real slicey. It's got a nice. It's got a tall flat grind on it, pretty high. But yeah, it's definitely a user. Yeah.
And it's going to come down because I did that flat all the way up. It's going to come down fairly thin. Yeah, my packet, my heat treat packet busted, and it caused all that scale.
Yeah. Cause that shit to oxide.
So you guys know, when you heat treat steel, especially with 20 CV, the temperature that we heat treat it at in the shop, you're looking at 2200 degrees. So when you put it in that envelope,
hellfire.
If you it'll light. You can light a welding glove on fire just reaching in, even with some standoff with a big long pair of channel locks.
You sitting there too long, you start feeling that heat on your hand. It's too late.
Yeah, if you get a welding glove hot enough that you feel it getting hot, it's too late. You're burnt. You can't get it off quick enough. But so if you happen to have a tear in your packet that you're or a hole, or if you didn't notice it, that oxygen gets in there, and it causes oxidation at an exponential rate because it's a chemical reaction, and a lot of with pretty much all chemical reactions, you add energy to it, it speeds up the process. And when I pulled that out, there were just flakes of steel falling off the back of this, so you guys can see. And I mean, it's not going to affect the integrity of it because I still show you guys down here. That doesn't focus very well, does it? On Instagram.
There's something. It's
something about Instagram.
Yeah, it's not the live thing.
Anyway, so I cleaned it up, but it left some pitting.
All right, we got real quick before you lose it. Yeah, we got a question here.
What?
Is by let's see what's your real name, bud?
Do you ever plan on
Nicholas?
Yeah,
Nicholas.
Yeah, it's Nick. Hey, Nick.
Yeah, so let's see this CAD CNC train. Now, how about that? CAD is extremely useful. I use CAD design when I do design my folders. It's just essential. Like before that, I used to make plastic templates, and I would shape them, and then I'd put a pivot, stop pin. I would try to plan out a knife with a plastic, real life like model, a prototype, and I would take that and I would shift it, and I would modify it until it was like a functional knife. The thing about that is it just takes fucking forever, and CAD is essentially the same thing, but right there in real time you could design, make changes. You could literally see how a knife, a blade is going to fit in a frame. You could take and you could manipulate lines far easier than even on a piece of paper. It's really handy. Now I think CAD is just like another design tool. That's all it is really. And without CAD, you're going to cost a lot of time. And if you are an upcoming knife maker and designer like I am, or Mike here,
which we've already talked about. Yeah. There's probably here in the next few weeks, I am going to sit down with Robert. We're going to design a folder, and it's going to be based on
I can bring
something.
my laptop. I have all my programs back on. I have it on my laptop and my desktop. So I think it's extremely essential. Like, you save a lot of time. I do see other knife makers out there that haven't started using CAD or anything like that, but I self-taught myself. It's a little redundant. Wow. Self-taught myself. Yeah.
I done did a thing.
I done did a thing.
I done it.
Yeah. I think if you don't push yourself and step out of your comfort zone, like, you're just gonna be laid to the wayside. You're not gonna grow. Like, especially in industry like this.
Now we're just talking to ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't have anyone.
We got
there we got one. There's one.
Yeah.
There we got no one.
Yeah. Let's see. Ham. See, who's this guy?
No, it's Nick.
Oh, Nick's back. All right,
Nick's back.
Cool.
We thought we lost you there for a minute, Nick.
Yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, I think it's essential. Now, CNC, I do see that in my future. And the reason being is because I want to be able to put affordable knives in people's hands, and I want to be able to support American small businesses. And the only way to do that is to get that price point and get knives to people, across, the country, across the world, is to support those small businesses. Like CNC, it takes a lot of labor out of me doing it, but it is smarter, and y'all will be able to get more knives. It won't be like waiting on auctions or getting beat out by the guy who's got a bigger pocketbook than you do.
Or the flip side of it is Robert puts a knife up for auction that's probably, with the amount of work that I've seen him put into knives, that knife should be at a minimum $1,000 and then goes for $600. And I mean, it's not the buyer's fault. It's just the way that the auction system works.
This thing is patinaing nice. So actually, I got this guy with me. So it hasn't haven't got it shipped out yet. That's mostly because it's a weekend. It's a Sunday here, but I wanted to go ahead and show it in the video. But yeah, it's like you said, this thing went for $600, and I've looked at. I mean, trust me, I spend a lot of time on Instagram, and
I've seen knives much less. Let me see it. I've seen knives that are done much less well. That's horrible English. I've seen much worse knives. I've seen much worse knives go for a lot more. I'm not gonna call any makers out, but it's just because they have a bigger name and they're just making stupid products, and they're just repeating the same thing over and over and not being creative and not coming up with anything new. And they make something, everybody jumps on it and pays a lot of money, and then you got somebody like Robert who comes up with something really cool, really innovative. Every one of them's different. And it goes up for auction, and it goes for $500. Or he doesn't get a bid. I've seen him make knives that didn't even get a bid.
Yeah, there was one. Yeah,
there was that one. It was a couple fixed. Actually, it's happened a couple times. You had a couple fixed blades.
Yeah, my fixed blades don't sell nearly as well as other things. But it's like I'm doing all the work. Like the other morning. Let's see, was that Friday morning? I think it was Friday. Yeah, it must have been Friday. Yeah, because I didn't make it over to the forge. So
yeah, that's right. Because you said you were doing leather work.
Yeah, I had to do some leather work, and I had to make some cases to
so
go
he says
out.
Friday morning. His morning's somewhere around 2, maybe afternoon-ish.
The mornings have been around 9 lately. Okay, 9. I've been going to sleep earlier. That's a problem. I have insomnia. I don't sleep. I just stay up all night, and then I wake up when I wake up. I ain't got anybody to tell me when to get up out of bed. But
nice being self-employed, isn't it?
Yeah. The later I get up, the later I stay up. It just kind of perpetuates itself. But yeah, I make all these leather cases by hand, and I don't want my knives going out in some shitty ass bag or something like that. It's just personal. Like the second you get this, I mean, what do you think?
Well, dude, you made me a case, and it gets carried a lot.
Yeah.
It's got my THC pin in it.
Yeah,
actually, I have that, and I also have one that he made me that I keep my Japanese little Japanese folder in. So,
I don't have that one.
So you guys on my YouTube channel, this is the giveaway knife that BJ won. He wanted a rock pattern, and he's gonna get the colors. And I had my Kydex guy make a sheath. It's coyote brown, but it winds up looking a little bit more copper because he wants copper as one of the colors. So I'm actually coordinating. It is. It very.
Like that brown.
My Kydex guy does a really good job.
It's almost a desert tan for you.
He does a really good job, and I mean he's gotten to where he just pretty much duplicates it. But the fact is, these are all hand ground knives, so he has to make each sheath individually.
Yeah, didn't get a notification, bud. What?
Huh. You knew we were doing this.
Right on. Huh.
Hey, Defiance Knives, what's your actual name so I can stop calling you DK?
It's Brandon.
Brandon?
Yeah.
I thought it was Corey. Oh, you can do that.
Yeah, Brandon. Yeah.
Hey.
Brandon.
So Brandon.
Yeah. He was hanging out with me last night. I was machining some bolsters. Yeah.
Well, I think Brandon is going to make a knife and send it to me, and I'll sharpen it and put it on my YouTube channel, because the only real exposure I got with my YouTube channel was the fact that Chris and Elliot went ahead and decided they were going to let me sharpen their knives. And so that brought that, and then they put a link to my YouTube channel and a link to my
you gotta play with
Facebook profile, or my email. And I really business started to pick up. And so I didn't really think about it until I had another guy that makes knives. So I don't know if I mentioned his name. He sent me something. He's like, Chris and Elliot Williamson lets you sharpen their knives. I was like, yeah. And they send me knives and I sharpen them. And he's like, do you know how big that is? That a knife maker that makes that kind of, is like that well known and makes that kind of quality knives will send you shit and let you run the risk of screwing up their knives. And I was like, You know, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, it's a big fucking deal, man.
So it's kind of a deal to pay it forward. So Defiance Knives, you're going to see Defiance Knives is going to make a knife, and it'll wind up on the channel here for you guys to see. And Robert, I might have Robert put something on Instagram for you guys that are watching Robert's channel.
Oh yeah, certainly.
So it's, man, I love that jimping that you and Bob Trezula did. And I said it in a video.
He really is a genius.
Yeah.
Like a lot. It's funny. So
We've got so much available to us here. I mean, we got Bob Trezula. We got, if you wanted to go up and talk to Mick Strider, if you wanted to, he's local. We got Kramer is here. He makes good fucking hellacious
actually, I need
blades.
to go see Eric. Actually, I need to go up there and hang out.
And we got Bob Trezula right here in San Diego when he's in town, because Bob is out. Bob's a big name knife maker, so you got to catch him when he's in the shop. So,
lots of things to learn.
There's a lot of stuff to learn, and a lot of people to learn it from.
Well, you know, a lot of people like to give knife makers a hard time that use jigs and stuff like that. But the thing is, you got to work smarter, not harder. And
not easy.
If you
freehand flat grind, not easy to try and keep it even.
Like this,
one little hiccup and you have fucked it all up.
The grind on this thing, I would never have freaking tried with a just freehanding this thing.
Well, I know how hard it is to sharpen one of those freehand and not have a hiccup.
But when you got a jig, and especially the style jig I use, it doesn't take out all the variables. That's just the thing. Like, you still have to manipulate and control pressure, and even besides just how you use it, you have the variables of like the belt, the platen, stuff like that, the dimensions of
and
like,
if
the
the
table
belt
and
gets
stuff
worn,
like that,
as the belt wears, the belt actually thins and it changes your angle.
Yeah, you'll actually see on the blade like it wearing and removing material from the blade differently. So you have to take that into account. You might have to use that better spot on the belt to actually remove material. And I mostly use used belts. Because like
I do too.
Belts are freaking expensive, and
Chris and Elliot basically let us do stuff for free. And so I don't have a lot of money right now. I want to repay them. So what I do in the interim is I do little monkey work around the shop for whatever they need. On a Friday, I go up and I find out what they need done on a Saturday morning, and I try to have it done before they show up. What did I do the other? Oh, I drilled pivot. So the pivots come blasted out from water jet, and so it's big on one side, small on the other. And I drilled all the pivots to size so that Chris and Elliot didn't have to do it. I did. I think I did all 200 blades, except for, I know I think Elliot had done a handful, but I pretty much drilled all 200 blades because that's one less thing that they have to do, and it's just my way of paying it to them for allowing us to do what we do in their shop.
I kick myself in the ass a lot, actually, because when I first started hanging out there, I did a lot of stuff. I did a lot of blasting and stuff to help out. But I make knives now to get by, like to pay my bills, to eat, and it's I'm having to do right now. Actually, I'm working on more knives. I've done more knives in this month than I have like since making knives. But on the backside of that is I'm not able to do more in the shop to help out the guys. So my goal in working like harder is I'm gonna have to pay them back. You gotta pay it forward, and what goes around comes around. And
every one of these knives, basically, that I've made and sold, these little Kiri-dashis, every one of them that I've made and sold, the only real cost I've incurred. Elliot nested a bunch of them for me in water jet, and I paid the steel and the water jet. And then I ran out of those, and I had some scrap that was just laying around, and where I can find a piece of scrap to nest one of these into and cut it out, I do it. Shameless plug to you guys on Robert's Instagram channel. I make some little Kiri-dashi neck knives with a sheath that's designed for around your neck, and they come out. They come out pretty good.
Very ergonomic. These were definitely designed with the idea of actual like daily use. The tip, the angle you have down here, it doesn't just come down to a straight tip. It actually has, what would you call that? More. It's
kind of a rounded area.
Yeah,
so it's not so thin. It's more steep.
Yeah,
it's steeper. So on the original,
it's like reinforced because it doesn't just drop off to a point. It actually, you got say you got your let's say you got your cutting edge. Well, it slopes down to the edge, so it creates some reinforcement.
You can see the difference between the prototype and this, and if you look here, I actually broke the tip off, and it's actually much more rounded now than it was when I first made it, because I dropped it and dinked the tip off and realized that it needed a little bit more material. So it's there's just like everything when Robert does, you find out something that's wrong, you go back to the drawing board. And these are actually thicker, and the angle, I mean, everything about the final design and the prototype is a little bit bigger. The final design came out a good bit bigger and beefier because it's easier to hold on to.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that's what she said. But the Kiri-dashis, these Kiri-dashis that I made, I lived in Japan, man. I'm huge there.
So big.
So these Kiri-dashis that I made were actually not ever going to be something that I was going to try and sell. Elliot told me that the best way to learn how to get control of an edge grind was to start making some Kiri-dashis. And so that you guys know what a Kiri-dashi is, I have an actual, no joke, Kiri-dashi.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
This is old, and this was my father-in-law's.
I hope you guys are getting this. Yeah.
So this was an old Kiri-dashi. It was my father-in-law's. He is retired now as a master carpenter, but it's a woodworking tool, and this is old. This is probably 50 years old. What he was saying from the days when he was not only when he was actively working, but actually owned a tool shop on the side that the family ran. So this is a true honest to goodness Kiri-dashi. So just you can kind of see it pretty much. I pretty much got that angle from this.
Well, I love how like you could tell that this shit was like definitely handmade.
It's got the maker's mark stamped in it.
Maker's mark, and like a lot of real like traditional Kiri-dashis, there's actually a slight. It's like a hollow. Yeah, it's scooped out. And what they do is they lay it flat on this side to remove the burr. Mm-hmm. And you can see how it's shiny right there. So anywhere that's not shiny is hollow. It's like recessed, concave.
Yeah, so much easier to take the burr off of something that's a little bit like that.
Like,
and it's laminated steel. It's kind of patinaed a little bit, but you can definitely see that it's two different pieces.
It's kind of hard to get in there, but you could tell.
Yeah, you can see
two different alloys in there,
and it is so sharp.
And you got the higher carbon on that bottom edge because that's the part you're actually going to be using to actually cut with. The rest of it is just reinforcement. Essentially, it's just to give this still some strength. But rigidity. But yeah,
I've got 7 of these. 2 of these already been spoken for.
I think it's too cool, man.
You guys on my channel that haven't bought one, try and go back through the comments and find the guys that did, because everybody's been happy with them. Because like we said, 20 CV at 2200 degrees, and then 2 cycles of 2 hours each in the annealing oven for secondary hardening. It's amazing how well this stuff holds an edge. You can't make it dull. I've never sharpened the prototype, and it still is. And it apes through boxes all the time. Can I hollow? Are you talking to me? Can I hollow grind one of these?
Kiri-dashis? I hollow ground
he did.
One of mine.
I made a straight razor that I actually use. I mean, it's rough. It's ugly.
Let's get that. Go get it. Man.
You want me to go get it?
Yeah, go get it.
It was my first attempt to hollow grind. I'll go get it. You guys talk to Robert.
Yeah,
talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, well, he's doing that. Yeah, so I first did a hollow grind. I was over at Wasteland Oddities headquarters, and Mars actually broke out his I think it's like a 8 or a 10-inch wheel, and I started doing a fixed blade, and kind of I realized how easy it is actually. Like the wheel is like a guide, and because it kind of just fits into the steel as you remove it. The more steel you remove, the easier hollow grinding gets.
It does.
And instantly, I was hooked.
It wants to go at first, and you're like, oh, God. And then once you get that hollowed out a little bit, it sits right in there.
Yeah. What I did is, like, at first I started with, like, a flat bevel. And then I just kind of put the wheel, like, midway through that flat bevel. And I just started taking it out. And as I gradually saw my grind lines coming out to the top of my grind, and then bottoming out just right there shy of where the edge is going to be, it was real nice. It just kind of flowed through, and I'm definitely my Kiri-dashis for now on are going to be hollow ground. I don't think I'm going to do any flat ground Kiri-dashis.
I like the traditional zero grind, because it just lays flat on the stone.
Yeah.
And it's not so much that it's any easier or more difficult to maintain. It's the aesthetics of it. It's staying with tradition of it being a chisel grind.
I am
There's a
more-
hollow. There, I mean, and I'm not gonna lie, this was rough because I didn't mark anything out
remember
to
when
try
you
and
made
keep the
that
lines.
thing.
But this was just kind of proof of concept. I wanted to see if I could do it. There was a piece of steel. I've always wanted a Japanese style straight razor, which are typically a chiseled hollow on one side and then a little bit of material removed on the back, so that just like that Kiri-dashi, you can take the burr off. And I just wanted to see it, so I made it out of 20 CV. But the problem with Japanese style straight razors is they're usually, the blade on them's only about like an inch. And I'm not a Japanese guy. I'm a pretty big guy. So I made this, and it is hair splitting, stupid. It is so far the close. I shaved with a straight razor for years. That is the closest shave I've ever had, is with that.
This thing's cool as hell, though. I mean, when you look at it, and like,
It's rustic.
It's a relic. It's gonna be a relic. Like, this guy's daughter one day, might gift this to her husband or something like that. Who knows? Or maybe.
You think I'm
maybe
gonna like there's ever gonna be a guy that's gonna be good enough for firing that out?
Yeah,
It doesn't get shot when he shows up.
It's funny. I called this guy this morning, and his daughter answers, and man, she's like, "Yeah, you would have thought like a teenager answered the phone, like maybe like a 16-year-old or maybe even an 18-year-old answered the phone."
What's the blue red on your
blue red?
Go Red? The
You know
GoPro.
what? I am.
Are we
really-
recording?
Yeah, we're recording. I think the blue is my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I think that's my Wi-Fi, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm really not sure. I don't use my fucking.
This
GoPro.
video is just pretty much a for fun video.
Well, on
and
the
it
plus
was-
side, you could save the live feeds. So at the end of this, I'll be able to hit the little save thingy.
You can do
on
that?
it. Yeah, you can do it. When it comes up, you'll see it when we close this thing.
It's not muffled, is it? Because we're using my iPad stand.
Yo, you might be right.
It usually is it muffled, Corey?
How do we sound, Brandon?
Does it sound like he's got a dick in his mouth?
Yeah, does it? Well, this guy. Yeah. He thinks I'm the one that sounds like I have a cock in my mouth, but this guy sounds like he might have took like maybe a whole bag of dicks, and he just kind of hoards them like a squirrel. A squirrel with a bag of dicks. Sounds great. Awesome. Perfect. Yeah, this thing, but like I was saying, maybe your daughter might carry it, and you never know when she might need to use it on someone. This thing is scary as hell, though. It is really
It is
cool.
stupid sharp. Like, it is possibly the sharpest thing I've ever had.
It is fucking sharp. I don't even want to touch it. Like, when I'm looking at the edge, and it's like, you just see, like, this thing is...
It's so ultra
super-
thin.
Yeah. It's just,
And that's the way a straight razor has to be. It has
God,
to be that
it's thin.
super thin profile. And it does. It is possibly the smoothest shave I've ever had. So when you shave with a straight razor, you guys that are on my channel have seen me do it. You shave with that straight razor.
really crude.
You
but
have
this
to
thing works.
go back and do multiple passes to get that super fine, because it's only one blade. That one gives the closest first pass shave I've had.
Maybe you should use it as an ice skate.
No. She'd stick, and then she'd cut through, and then the floor would fall out. She'd like cut a hole in the bottom, and
That'd be
it'd just
cool.
fall
It could
through.
be a part of her routine, like skate around.
It is so stupid
and then
sharp.
and
though.
then like when she like her like finale, the ice like falls into some badass design, maybe your logo. Yeah. So you could use your daughter for marketing.
So
It's like, boom,
if you guys can
Himmler
see
edge,
it,
and
if
then
you guys
falls
can
through
see
the ice.
it, I knocked the tip off of this. Most straight razors will be rounded at the end or have
I
a
can
little.
imagine.
So I was around my ear, and I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, what was that?" And I realized that I had cut my ear, coming around the ear on that point.
Yeah, I love this thing. Oh god.
So
Gives me
okay,
disgust.
so we've talked about your new knives you're making.
Yeah. Well, actually, there's some I did want to. I was kind of talking about with Brandon, Luke, and Matt from American Steelworks, and for right now, I'm gonna do all these next. Actually, the rest of the knives I have parts for, I'm gonna do bolsters on all of them. They're all gonna have bolsters. The reason being,
Mine's not right. Mine's
is,
just going to be a straight frame lock.
yeah, yours is actually gonna be a subframe lock. Yes, so it's gonna be really pretty. Just watch.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, you want the pretty copper and accents and stuff. But
Don't pay attention. There's going to be handles
Yeah.
on top of that. But you guys that haven't seen it, go to my YouTube channel. I did a video. I'm going to do a video about this fixed blade fighter that I made. I call it the Hornet. The yellow jacket
Viper.
and the
Right?
Viper.
Yeah. Right on.
He makes his names
I
from
like-
giant.
like prehistoric
Prehistoric-
monsters.
I like venomous things.
And also like not just like fictional and nonfiction monsters and stuff. I like dinosaurs. I want to make a knife and I want to call it the Cthulhu. It's got to be really gruesome. And I think I might do a karambit style folder. And
There's
call it
a chance I might step from that and do one called the Kraken. Only because
I feel like a Kraken, you'd have to have either like a Persian.
That's exactly what I
Persian?
was thinking, was a Persian style blade.
Ah, see?
See?
Got it.
But the big reason was because if you see Elliot's, that is loaded.
Of course.
And there's one in the pipe.
I figured there would be.
What sense does it have to make it have an unloaded gun at the
There you
house? They're hollow points. So I don't.
I need to get one of these, dude.
Yeah. Actually, you're probably not supposed to have that one in California. Don't know if that one's California legal because I haven't registered it yet. You guys didn't hear that? That thing is so smooth.
The feed ramp is nicely polished. Holy shit.
It came like that. A lot of times when I get a 45, I polish feed ramp so that hollow points don't jam up on the feed ramp. So that one came. Yeah, show them. I don't think I ever showed them in my video. It is.
Look at that thing.
It is mirror polished.
Look at that.
Never had a feed issue with it.
And this guy, he says it came like that. So
that came like that. When my father got diagnosed with cancer, when I went home, he said he wanted me to have that, and he would not take no for an answer, and would not let me leave without it. It had to go with me, along with my 44 Magnum.
Hell yeah, I get that.
It's so sweet.
I almost actually brought my Kimber. I almost brought it.
But no, so that fixed blade that I'm thinking about making, I'm going to call it the Kraken. And the reason I'm going to call it the Kraken, so that you guys don't know, if you ever have seen Elliot's Maker's Choice, he's made 2 of them now that have the Kraken on it. And Elliot one night was at the shop and he had artist block and just could not figure out what he was going to make.
You max out the freaking clip.
Yeah. Why not?
I was like, of course, no, this is what I do.
So Elliot was there and I was like, Elliot, release the Kraken. And he's like, shut up, Mike, I don't drink rum. And I was like, Elliot, release the Kraken. He's like, I'm going to hit you. Because he was really, it's the only time I've seen Elliot in like a really foul mood. And I was like, no, Elliot. And I pulled up pictures of it. He was like, 2 days later, he sends me a text, said, check your Instagram feed. When I checked my Instagram feed, he had made the Kraken for the Master Blasters. It was the blue one. And he just made another one for the spinners. And I was like, did I inspire a knife thing? And he goes, yeah, it was amazing. It's just something I didn't think of. And then you said it. It was awesome.
Wait until you see the upcoming mass drop stuff that Chris and Elliot are working on. It was actually...
we can't say anything about it, really, though.
Yeah.
We've been sworn to secrecy.
Some of the... I guess I persuaded Elliot into doing some trimmer, like, slimmer knives because he likes the way they feel. Like, my Megalodons, the way I chamfer them and radius them, they feel really slim. Like, this is a big-ass knife. But
it is thick across the back, but it's nice and thin.
You got a nice backside. Like, there's material.
So do you,
guys
buddy.
can see. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, don't skip leg day. Don't skip leg day, bro.
I skip leg day. I probably should be in a wheelchair as much as I skip leg day. Just, I can't even walk.
Yeah, wait. When you guys will know what I mean whenever you see these folders that are coming out for the mass drop. Oh yeah, they're gonna be nice. But yeah, some inspiration. Like, well, we all bounce ideas off of each other. And find out like, hey, like talk to your peers and find out what is going to be a good idea. And what's going to be, a lot of time bad ideas. There's some really bad ideas.
We only have 3 people on your live feed. You've got 1,500 subscribers. Where is everyone else?
Almost 15. But yeah, people are busy. It's Sunday, I don't know what church, brother.
Oh yeah. Maybe we'll catch some later. This video may be a little bit longer than intended. We could do this. You could get me and Robert. We would sit here all day, and we probably may because I have an entire growler full of beer.
Oh yeah, I gave a little tutorial on brass and titanium. Yeah,
how to color it.
Yeah, I forgot to go back to it. So actually, that piece of titanium was even blue, and I'll show you. I'll do a.
Did you do a trash can and then do a second color on top?
No, but I can. Hey, that'll be something cool. I'll show you guys that. So I'll show you how it turned out after it cooled naturally. No water quenching, anything like that.
Oh, you heat colored it.
Heat colored.
Oh, it's
a form of heat corrosion. Actually, it forms an oxide layer. But if you let it cool naturally, the colors just explode. They pop out way more. But if you quench it, the color will be washed out. So that looks great. So I'll show you guys that later when I do a video. Actually, after I leave here, I'm going to be going over to Fair and Forge.
Are you?
So,
I thought we were going to play video games.
No, I plan on being here for a little while, but I do have to do
because
some
we're gonna
work.
play. We're gonna
Yeah.
play Star Wars. We're
Yeah.
gonna play the Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they've got the now you can fly starships.
I'll show you, buddy. Don't worry. All right. And I'll probably do like a two-tone, but I wanted to show you, like, for those of you who maybe have like titanium, like EDC toys, or because most of them are EDC toys, not really tools. But if you got anything made out of titanium that isn't mechanical or anything, and you have to worry about the heat causing embrittlement
or brittling it or warpage.
Yeah, embrittlement.
Well, titanium doesn't warp as much under heat.
Oh yes, it does.
Well, not as much as steel does.
You guys that watched the titanium plate that I was heating up, that small piece of titanium, it is warped from the heat. And the titanium definitely will.
Yeah,
Especially
but it's harder. It's harder to warp titanium than it is steel.
Oh well.
It absorbs heat a lot. It handles heat a lot better.
It dissipates it.
Yeah.
A lot more evenly.
That's what I meant. And then I could be retarded too.
Yeah.
You like that, don't you?
I do.
So this knife that he currently has in his hand, that's not my knife. That's not his knife. You know whose knife that is? It's my daughter's knife. Because I was going to sell it, and she's the one that wanted to keep it.
Oh man. Yeah, I used to be a huge sucker for Tanas, and I guess maybe a little bit of me still is.
I like that that profile holds is easier to sharpen than any of the other profiles of the Microtech Ultratechs. They have a tendency to be a little bit too thick. The double edge, the bayonet. The only other one is the drop point, but when I bought that, they didn't have the drop point in the smooth scales. It was just that tri-wing, that Lego looking one.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that thing. It's retarded. It's ridiculous. Anthony, what were you thinking?
Yeah, I think if I got another Ultratech, it'd probably be, what are they calling it? The
UTX 70, the California legal one, the little one.
Nah. I do want one of those though. But no, I want one. God, what was it, like the Hellhound or whatever?
Is that the one that looked like the Spartan blade, where it was like two Tantos back to back?
No, it's kind of like a.
I would grab my phone.
Really aggressive Bowie. Actually, guys.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about. Hang on.
Here, guys, I got something. I got my freaking tablet. If it's not dead, I could actually pull it up.
There's a computer right behind these guys right here. There is a computer.
I don't touch Macs. I'm gonna get freaking. I don't know. I'm gonna start going to pussy.
But you won't get a virus.
Oh, sure. Yeah. The virus you get with freaking Macs is that they have all your freaking information. So they are literally tapped in your entire life.
And as for you, I don't give a crap who knows anything about my life because it's pretty fucking boring.
I plan on going off the grid, so I don't. This is dead. But I will charge this and.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is Ultratech.
Yeah. Look that shit up. Yeah. That's if I did get another Ultratech, I have one. My dad gave me. It's old as fuck.
Those are the good ones.
I have literally shortened this. Man, the spring is broke so many damn times, and I've had to. All I do is I keep bending the spring into another loop, and I just keep using it, and then. But it's worn. It was the aluminum chassis on it. It's really worn out. Where can I plug this in, bro?
Yes.
By the way. Yes.
Yes.
Where can I plug it?
Do you want to plug your phone in as well, because there's a good chance that we're going to run your phone down.
Yeah, if you got a plug over here.
Hey, guess what? There's a extension cord right here.
Cool. I got multiple freaking chargers.
So me doing this on Ellie, or me doing this was, I hate to tell you guys that are following. Yes, it's called the Hellhound. So I don't even have to look it up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was right. Cool.
You know, right? This one, the Hellhound.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there. $357.14.
Damn, they dropped.
That's not that expensive for an Ultratech.
Dude. I need to hit up
the
see if Andy
here's the
can-
ones, the automatic, the double edge, just straight Ultratech is $268. I think they had
Holy
to drop
shit.
some prices.
See, the one my dad got way back in the day,
They were
shit
expensive.
cost him like $400.
Yeah, no, I think I paid
Which,
three.
I mean-
I think I paid $3 for that one.
Yeah, if you guys are buying production knives, that's actually that's $400 isn't a cheap knife.
So I'm hoping that this guy that's the Australian knife maker
Oh, there's your price.
that follows me on YouTube enjoys this video as well. I was going to look it up. I could not remember your handle. Told me that he was doing some heat treat and was just put this on the background, the last video, and listened to me and Robert for an hour while he was just doing stuff around the shop, and was like, dude, it was awesome. It was like having friends in the shop hanging out.
That's how I felt last night with Luke, Brandon, and Matt. I felt like I had just some buddies like hanging out while I was doing the video. It's kind of cool.
So 357, that's on Blade HQ, and it's the first one that pops up. 357.14. That's the current price for the Hellhound. Okay.
Damn, I didn't realize that cushion, man.
It's because my wife sits like that on her knees, and she's broke the understuff.
Oh, man. I was like,
the plate underneath that chair is cracked, and I have to.
no shit.
I have to fix it. It just needs a piece of or a piece of plywood or something in it.
Yeah, I went to go put my knee in the chair and it almost ate me.
Yeah, it'll swallow you.
All right, here, can you plug that in, buddy?
So, while we're, like I said, the doing this on, now we have to figure out how we're going to stand that in there without it falling.
Oh, yo, I will figure something out. Don't worry. You guys.
So we don't have any of those clamps that Elliot has at the shop.
Here, hold that, bud. Yeah, thanks.
No, put your pants back on.
Let's see here. Actually, yeah. Let's see. We'll hold that in there. Yeah, I'm gonna spread her legs.
Spread her, get her in there.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah, that's good.
it's in.
I got it. It's in. Oh man, I did it. All right. So now.
Now you're just gonna have to hold it for the whole time.
I certainly could, but I'm not going.
We're
to.
not going to. That's just silliness.
Silly nonsense. You got.
So I'm gonna
duct
pause you guys for a minute while we're doing this.
My megalodon.
Hey, welcome back, guys. You didn't miss
the-
a lot, but a little.
It's
You'll go to Robert's channel to catch what
it's
you missed.
you know, it's like this thing. I beat on it. Like, oh, there goes the GoPro.
You'll get to see Robert's video fall down.
Yeah, that's cool.
Apparently, it had too much to drink.
Yes,
we
it
were.
did.
We may be drinking. Helms Brewing. If you're in San Diego, go to Helms Brewing.
There we go, guys. Sorry about that. It's probably. Let's see.
Awesome beers.
Yeah, good thing this table is like
Nice and flat,
and flat
smooth.
and smooth.
Yeah, it's that. I got this nice marble table. Pip Corona is going to. So you guys don't know who Pip Corona is. He's one of my followers on YouTube and Instagram. I think he also follows you.
Did you answer Brandon, by the way?
What's that? What material? Yeah, I told him it's going to be lightning strike carbon fiber.
Right.
And I meant to grab it because I was going to put it here so I could show it, because I'm hoping that someone that watches this video will give this a home. I really want to see one of these get used the fuck.
Yeah, it's like actually.
Badly want to see one of these go somewhere and get used. But what Robert and I had talked about, and I mentioned it in one of my YouTube videos for you guys like there at Defiance Knives and you guys, this is...
There's one of my, here's my fixed blade.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's the one you want to get rid of too, huh?
Yeah,
I love that thing.
I would like to get rid of this.
Sell.
Let's see here. It's been refinished a couple times, and I like this finish. So what it is, it got a satin on the flats. The bevel itself has been polished. It was actually blasted and then polished and then tumbled, and it gets a
It's
real nice
interesting.
unique. I mean, you can see that it's just.
Yeah.
Like a really satin looking finish, like a true satin. You know, it's not.
You know what it looks
Not
like?
shiny, but
You know what I thought it looked like?
what's that?
You know, so my grandfather was in his 80s when he passed, and he had kitchen knives and had knives that he owned that were like carbon steel and had kind of started to get a patina and then would pit a little bit, and then he would use something and then, yeah, you only have,
What is that? Oh, you have a certain set amount of time you can
Yeah.
do it live?
yeah,
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's an hour.
All right, I'm gonna start. I'll start another one, and maybe people get notified.
So at any rate, what I was saying is, so my grandfather had some of these old kitchen knives and old pocket knives, and that's the way it kind of looked after it would go through something it would use when he cut cardboard. It'd knock some of the patina off.
We're
and
back.
It would,
Sorry about that, guys.
oh, there's no one there to talk to. So,
Oh, not yet.
but it gets that almost patinaed look that when like you would then cut through some cardboard and it would take it off, but you'd still see the residual on the blades. It looks like a well-used carbon steel blade.
It's like it has character. You know,
It does, it
it's
has
like
a lot.
I really like this knife a lot. Like it's one that I'm not really freaking out about because I ain't got it sold because I like it. Like, when I go places, like I get this freaking badass sheath.
Phone didn't die. You only have an hour, and when you hit an hour mark, it kicks you off.
Yeah, I guess it did that to me last night, and now it makes sense why.
Yeah,
I didn't really investigate it. I was
you
like,
didn't save that, did you? That
No,
live, that
totally
last
not.
live one.
Totally spaced.
Well, that's all
on
right.
it.
It's on your
Yeah,
GoPro.
We got this.
We have the
got that.
full. Robert's YouTube channel will have the entire full length because I cut some stuff out of ours because I know you guys' attention span.
And actually, you'll get the GoPro falling over too. I'm gonna leave that because
Because
why not?
fuck editing.
Yes, I don't have the fucking time. Not enough time. And actually, this guy, I even have a Kydex for it. So
This is, you know what? I love this leather.
Hey, Luke. Luke, let's see who we got in here right now.
Actually, do you think you can do a leather on this for me? I'm going to do a Kydex, but could I get a second? Could I get a leather on this one?
Yeah.
Could I get a leather on this one? I mean, you don't have to do the stamping and shit.
Yeah, right on, dude.
And
I
then,
got you.
because I like the idea that you could wear it horizontal.
Here's that Kiri-dashi I did for the giveaway. This is one of my sheaths. You see this?
I will tell you what, another thing you've heard me talk about, so this is about Robert's knives, so that you guys know. You've heard me brag on Elliot. One of the most important things to me is how well a knife is sharpened and how well it's profiled and the edge geometry. And so one of the big things that that I like about Robert's knives is
Look at that slicing.
just like Elliot's knives and just like Elliot, it is his edge geometry, and he doesn't need me to sharpen his knives. As a matter of fact, I haven't sharpened a knife for you for a while. But he still puts my cards in the box.
I do.
But the thing is, he doesn't really, unless he wants something specific, he doesn't need me to sharpen his knives. Because he does a really good job. Because I'm telling you right now, this is sharp as fuck.
To be real honest, I haven't even told you. The only reason you're not sharpening, I haven't had you sharpen my knives is because I feel a lot of guilt when I don't get a knife shipped out fast. I really do. I know that people wait crazy amounts of time to get their knives.
This is my Elliot face.
But
Let me ask you a question.
Like, the only reason I have this is because it's Sunday. I would have thrown this in a box the other day, but I knew it was gonna be Sunday, and I knew it wasn't gonna go anywhere.
This is my Elliot way. I'm gonna channel my inner Elliot Williamson because I've learned so much from him. And I even though he's a significant amount younger
This was my
than me.
honest answer. Like
So
you know?
this I'm gonna
Yeah.
look to you like I would at Elliot. He goes, so let me ask you a question.
Oh god.
If you get a Jake Hoback custom,
Right.
how long do you think it's gonna take for you to get your knife?
Goddamn. I would estimate probably 6 to 8 months. Probably.
Yeah, why the fuck are you worried about how long it takes you to get your knife sharpened and ship it out?
Because I give a fuck. Because I give a fuck. Like
Here's the thing: they're gonna wait. They already paid for it. They're gonna wait.
It's my conscience, man. Like I don't know.
I know. It's just this is just because Elliot does this, and then I'll say something, and he'll go.
It's true. He's right though. Yeah,
So who fucking cares?
A lot of people.
You want it to be perfect when it goes out. So.
It's just one of those things, like you said, my edges don't
They don't suck.
necessarily need the Himmler edge, but I want them to have them. But it's like a conflict, it's
So
like
good.
it's like, hey, like I finish it and I just get it out, and I want people to get it as soon as possible because of the excitement and everything else that's around it. But
Here's the thing too: sharpness is not like my edges are polished and they're sharp and they're. I do a little bit to the edge geometry. You're not going to get just a straight angle edge from me like you would off like a belt grinder or something like that, and because they wind up with a little bit of a convex and they last a little bit longer. But a lot of it is to do with I play with the edge geometry on every knife that comes in. A lot of times I do follow the manufacturer's angle, but yeah, I mean it's stupid sticky sharp.
you know what? Shut. I mean,
I could probably do that
If you
before
want.
we leave today.
yeah, this is going out to Luke. He won the giveaway. So I mean, yeah, we could. Yeah, I could let you sharpen.
Do you know what? Here's the thing, dude. That doesn't need anything. I'm looking
It's
at
sharp
it.
though,
It's-
right?
Yeah, that doesn't need. There's nothing I would do to this that you haven't already done. Really, I mean, I could hit it on the straw.
And it's like
It would just be a finish. We'd hit it on those loaded straws.
he makes way more money like spending his time sharpening other people's stuff. Like this is just the way it is. Like, and if I took some shortcuts and I spent less time on my edges, then Mike, he would have some work cut out for him. But he makes way more money sharpening other people's knives than doing mine. Like,
But I like you. That's why I would do it.
don't worry.
I mean-
Whenever I'm able to have more knives, maybe I will start letting
This is
people know that your knife
badass.
before it gets sent to you, hey, you're gonna have to give me like a week because I'm gonna let Mike sharpen.
You could add
It's gonna
it.
be something I
You
start
could do what
adding
Chris
into
and
it.
Elliot did and add it as an option,
Yeah.
and that would be a paid option.
Yeah,
I like that
definitely
idea.
start doing-
So,
I just recently started charging people for shipping because
I
do-
did that from the beginning.
I just recently my first like
When you're
10
spending $10, $12 a pop sometimes
Yeah,
on shipping
fuck
stuff
yes.
out. Yeah.
And some people, like, I've had issues with USPS, as I'm sure everyone has. And I had a knife go to Matt Schumann. He has 2 of my Megalodons. He
has one of my neck knives.
He has the only knuckle duster I've ever made. He has the only one out of titanium. And he commissioned me for a Megalodon 1. And so he's a really freaking awesome guy. You know, really good supporter.
He is. I talked to him a couple times when
he bought
one of my neck knives. I put it up for auction. No one bid on it. And he goes, dude, if no one bids on it, I will pay you the asking price.
And he got God, what's his name? He got a sword from Blake. What's his name?
Is the guys at the zombie?
No, the it's like the kid that does the like really rustic stuff.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
I think his name's Blake. Man, I'm drawing a blank here.
So while he's drawing a blank, let him think about that for a second. I wanted to mention something because I've had people ask. Because
an hour and 6 minutes.
Yeah, that's not bad. An hour. Yeah. So what I wanted to bring up to you guys that are on my YouTube channel, because I've had a couple people text me, why does Elliot charge $35 for the Emler Edge when I do it for $20? I want you to remember, Elliot's doing the shipping to you. That knife comes with the edge. Elliot has to account for that. So the deal is, it's actually, I want you to think about this. If you buy a knife from Elliot and pre-order it with the Emler Edge, you're paying $35. But if you buy it, get it shipped to you, and then ship it to me, you're paying $14 in shipping, which would actually make it $39. You're actually saving money by ordering it through Elliot. Don't think that you're going to get a discount. I charge you guys for shipping. That's why it's $35 on Elliot's website. He has to account for the fact that it's coming to me, it's coming back, there's a delay, and it's going to, he's paying shipping. That's how he accounts for shipping the knives.
What's that? Yeah, Nicholas. I'm gonna learn. I'm bad with names,
Braden.
guys. So,
Brandon.
Yeah. So yeah, I know Brandon, but
Nick is one of my
ALV. I don't even know how to say that, man.
It's Nick.
Yeah, I'm bad with names, so I'm trying to learn your names.
So
here.
Nick is the young guy that was at the meetup that I got. It was like really cool that I got to meet one of my actual YouTube followers first, because I'd already met Nico.
Which meetup? The recent
one? The recent one that we had.
Okay.
While they were still doing the spinner run.
Yeah.
So it's Nick. It's Nick. Yeah, he's the young kid.
Oh yeah,
he's the one with the Master Blaster.
Sorry, yeah.
Nick's got the Master Blaster, the one Master Blaster that I did not want to see go out because I was trying to save up enough money to buy it myself. It's the one with the little brass inlays, the little brass pin inlays. Yes. It's gorgeous. Seriously, you need to send it to me sometime, Nick. It's not Nicholas. It's just Nick. Yeah, see, just Nick.
Nick. Oh, right on.
But yeah, no, that's the reason why you guys pay Elliot a little bit more, because there's a delay.
How much should it cost you? Don't fucking buy one. How about that? Don't buy one.
Don't buy one. You can
go get some really dense foam. Okay, that's it. You could get it from a package that has been sent to you. I'm sure if you look around in your garage, you could find some dense foam.
It's like the one that works really good is like the thick pick and pluck style foam, but not with the pick and pluck. You can get it. It's not expensive.
That was good. Or if you have a yoga mat lying around, or an ISO mat or something like that, like some nice thick foam. For a while, I was using toolbox lining. I was using like 1/2-inch toolbox lining, and I just took a couple pieces of steel.
What's up, Addy?
I put it in my vise, and I used a napkin. So I just put a napkin in there. I made like a little taco, and whenever I put the Kydex in a lot of fucking tape. Yep. And you could right there just get it all heated up, and I'm not gonna do any more Kydex ever again. Because
it's a pain in the ass.
My leather it'll last longer, and it doesn't scratch or fuck up the finish of a knife. It's another thing.
So another thing, Brandon, that the Kydex
you can make one.
You can make one. So my buddy that does my Kydex for me, his name's Chemo. He's a Hawaiian dude. He does a lot of stuff. He does leather, he does wrap, he does all kinds of stuff. But he's doing my Kydex for me because he does really good work, and it's quick. I dropped these off 3 days later. He had all 4 of them done. So at any rate, what he does is he gets that big, thick, heavy-duty foam, and the pistol grip style clamps that as you squeeze them, they come together. He uses an old coffee table, lays it down, and clamps that stuff down to 600 pounds, and a toaster oven. He bought a toaster oven just for Kydex. So when it gets hot, he pulls it out, he lays it over, he uses a heat gun to keep it a little bit warm while it's in the press, presses it down with those clamps, and then locks it, leaves it sit for 25 minutes till it cools, pulls it out.
What's in that purple then?
That's the razor.
Oh, right on. I thought it might have been your your dildo or butt plug.
It's an awful little butt plug. I was in the Navy.
Oh, I mean, you gotta. I know you gotta warm up. I know you gotta warm up a little bit. I mean, yes.
Oh, I wasn't ready. We don't care. No, but you can do it, and it's really simple. He does amazingly good
Bite
work.
down on that.
Yeah, just bite down, take a breath. Yeah. I'm gonna do another giveaway so that you guys that are on Robert's feed, I'm gonna do another giveaway, but it's gonna be Patreon based. I have a Patreon for my YouTube channel, as my YouTube followers know, and so it's
Yes, you can, Brandon.
it doesn't. I
Shit
give
around the
discounts.
house.
Yeah, shit around the house. I give discounts for subscribers if you subscribe, if you pledge more than $3, you get all knives done at $22. If you pledge more than $10, you get all knives done at $20. I was going to have pledges more than $10 get a free knife once a month, but I was thinking about it. I've already got like 5 subscribers, or 4 Patreons. That's 4 free knives if
That
it's
is
more
up,
than
man.
$10. I can't do it for free, but
Yeah.
there are discounts for sharpening, and you can ask. I already don't charge what I probably should for sharpening. Christopher tells me that all the
Yep.
time.
But I mean,
But it's
or think about this, guys. Like, it'd be like, if I ever post one of my folders for sale, and I was, thinking about, all right, what do other people charge? And if I, for like this knife I just recently did, if I I could have put that up for sale, and then just put $1,000 price tag on it.
I think
I
you.
could have.
I've told you before.
And,
You need to
yeah,
put
they
a
have
higher
told
starting
me-
price.
They have told me that. But like it's like I said, man. I think my knife. That's really what I think. One of these should go for, and I think that everything is inflated a little bit.
But
But it
you know
would
what?
be
The
nice
flip
to have
side,
more money.
he says that, but I see how much work he puts into them. So case in point, not this last Saturday, but the Saturday before, wasn't it? When you and I were up at the shop, and I got up there at like 6 or so to do heat treat, and you were already there. And he was already there because he didn't leave, and so he had worked all night. And when I came in, the little jarhead here was still doing knives at 6. I think I got there at 6:45 in the morning. He's in the back working. I scared the shit out of him.
Yeah, I was fucking out of it. I was like just tunnel vision.
And
I
then
was just working.
Then what did I do the following weekend?
Slept
I
in-
worked
slept
all
in-
night Friday night, slept in my buddy's truck that's up there because he's on deployment. Finished
Try
this
this?
knife. Yeah, do you want to try this? Here,
Yeah, cheers, bro.
cheers. Oh, that smells good. Ah, but it's got sugar in it. See, I don't like sugar in my coffee.
It's don't worry, it's good. It's good cane sugar. Yeah.
I know. I'm not big on sweets.
And almond milk.
I love almond milk. So, this is for you guys on my channel. Robert is a vegan. And I don't know if you guys have noticed that I have lost a good bit of weight over the last year. And a lot of that was I quit my job and I lost a bunch of stress. But a good bit of it has to do with something he told me one time when he was here at the house about disengaging myself psychologically from food. I was stress eating. I was stress drinking. The stress in general. I've cut a lot of things out of my diet. I don't drink as much milk. I don't eat as much dairy. I don't eat as much raw red meat. I still eat meat. I'm sorry.
It is what
But-
it is, man.
There's a lot of things that have aided, and I feel better physically. So I have a lot to thank the young man to my left here for.
I care about you, bro. I really do. And like I really actually I care about a lot of people, and I go out of my way a lot. Not trying to toot my own horn or anything like that.
He does.
But
He's a very giving person.
yeah,
This is
I wish I had more to give. I really do. Like, I don't come from
never given me a
very,
blowjob.
Yeah, they ain't never gonna get one either. They ain't never gonna get one. You know what? That's not. I could get you a blowjob.
Why don't you go out and get
We're
two?
real close to Tijuana.
Just go
Like,
get.
We're real close.
go
Actually,
get- go-
Probably wouldn't even have to go that far. Hillcrest is right here.
You go get 2
I
blowjobs.
can get
Come
you-
back and give me one.
I could get you. I could get you one, bro. Trust me. I've gotten friends blowjobs. All right, man. I can do it. Trust me. I'm persuasive. All right, I will.
It's horrible. There's never going to be a serious moment with the two of us in a room together, unless somebody needs help with something.
And it's funny, like the age difference between us is
it's significant.
Substantial. Yeah.
But he's a pretty. I mean, he's well, the same with Chris and Elliot. You guys are about the only people that are outside of my age group that I interact well with that are that much younger, because they're pretty responsible.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask, bro. Which one of these do you like more?
You know what? I like when you do just the natural.
The natural.
The natural,
Plain?
but I like that pattern better.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are really. Look at that. This is the kind of handwork that he does. Let me see. Where's your fixed blade again? Where did you put it? Your little drop point hunter.
Holding it somewhere right there, in front of us, next to the rabbit.
So you guys didn't get to see it. Robert has gotten to where he does some really, really, really good leather work. I mean, that's better than a lot of stuff that I get when it comes from well-known knife companies,
really,
not necessarily custom makers. But there's some thought that goes into it, because I'll tell you what, I would much rather have a knife like this in a horizontal carry than a vertical.
Oh yeah, this is how I did. So this is the last Kydex sheath I did, and don't plan on doing one, but I had to went ahead and do the fold over taco style horizontal carry loop system, and these are all the same equilateral distance apart, so you can shift this, and you got two different positions.
Just remember, you're talking to my YouTube subscribers.
Yes.
Explain to them what equilateral means, because I don't
yeah, that's right. Backwoods over here. Equilateral.
I'm just kidding. I'm not calling you guys stupid.
Them two holes.
Them two holes is the same.
Is the same from them two holes right here. So if you like close your eyes and then you like took this off and then put it there, you would be blown away that it fits. It'll work, and you could change the angle. So like essentially, you thinking here, you got use the frame here. You got nice and horizontal. Now if you shift it because this hole is higher, right, then you get it canted a little bit more. So if you were wearing this on your waist and you want it maybe higher, where you could grab it and it's like, obviously it'll like, stick up where it's not in line with your belt, you can get a hold of it, nice solid grip, right, so you could deploy
like kind of So instead of carrying it like this, you can carry it like this and just do a quick pull. Go watch CM's videos. He does some amazing stuff with his, because he puts some thought into how he's going to carry a knife, and how most people. Robert does too. Because
this one you see here, I got two different angles. So if you want, you could use one or both. So you can use both, boom, right through, or you could shift it and just use one, and the loop would come through here, and then you got an angle there, or vice versa. You want to drop it down, you can simply use one loop right there. There's tons of things.
And Robert and I have discussions, and we have a guy named Jason that he said he wanted.
Brother from another mother.
Yeah, Jason is amazing, and I was hoping that he was going to stop by today. He knew what time we were doing this.
Freaking gave me this thing.
Yeah, gave him a Tatanka.
Yeah, just one day he was like, "Hey, you like this?"
What was it? He gave your brother. He gave your brother something too.
Oh man, I can't remember.
It was another Spyderco, wasn't it?
It is.
And it's a nice knife.
He carries a.
He was going to give me a couple, and I was like, I already have knives that I don't even carry, Jason. I appreciate the offer, but
he gave me a freaking relic.
Yeah.
He gave me a freaking sword. It's a butcher's knife, is what it really is.
I saw it. Yeah, the big scimitar.
It's made by Case.
Yeah, it's a big Case scimitar butcher.
It's like an antique. It's awesome. I should have brought that. Fuck.
So
I had a lot of shit in my hands when I left, and I was like feeding dogs.
Hey Nick, you can watch what's left on the YouTube. I'm going to make sure from here is going to be the going to be live, either on mine or Robert's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the Tatanka. Yeah, it's actually an Indian. It was an Indian.
Yeah. So that you guys on my YouTube channel know, we're answering questions on his live feed for Instagram, and there goes the GoPro again. So go watch his, because it might be more entertaining.
It probably will be, because this guy wants to keep falling over. Yeah,
do you want to put some water on it? A little spit?
This little spit goes a long way.
Spit goes a long way.
What's this? I don't know what this is. I'm going to spit on it.
I used that to wipe off my PlayStation when I brought it.
Alright, it works. Yeah, I'm cleaning my mount down here, guys, in case you guys are wondering. I got this little suction cup thing.
Yeah.
But,
a
little dusty.
So when Jason comes, and we always have conversations about, because I've taken martial arts since I was a kid.
Right.
Robert has taken martial arts for years. Jason does. Well, that's been years, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so shit, dude. Let's not let's not be silly about it. So anyway, but Jason actually is he instructs too, doesn't he? He does beldings, but he does the Filipino knife fighting and stick fighting, and he's amazing. And he just has this mind for, and it's a practical martial art as opposed to
very practical.
I took Kenjutsu. I did take Kwanmukan Karate, and I took Shirinji Kempo, which are practical martial arts, but there's a lot of just strict form and things like that.
Well, like you were telling me the other day, and it's something I wasn't familiar with, is the terminology and the name associated with these different martial arts types. There's an art form.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
there you go.
You have Jiu-Jitsu, which is the parent form, and then you have Judo, which is the form that's been bastardized and made easier because now it's an art form or a sport. You have Aikido, which is this really strict artist stylized thing for what used to be called Aijitsu, which was the actual samurai martial art that they took so that they could fight without their blade, but it was all based on the same movements that you use when you're using a blade. I took Kenjutsu as opposed to Kendo. Kendo is the stick. Kenjutsu is the actual raw, sharpened blade cutting. And there's a lot of the movements that you can use from Kenjutsu to roll into it. But that's what Jason and I talk about things a lot of times. And so when I base a knife off of what I would want for a combat knife, and we were talking about this the other day, and not to try and this is getting funny, but there's so many things in this
Going
that
on
are
a tangent.
There's so I'm off the tracks, and it happens a lot. My YouTube followers will tell you. This is there's a lot of things in here that were done specifically because I take from different martial arts, because you have to. You can't just so you have all these different grip positions. You can get it all the way back here and get your thumb up here for a good snap cut. You can come up one forward and still have some significant cutting power. You come up one more, and that's where it was at. And then you come all the way up, and then you've got some fine detail cutting. And then in the reverse grip, you have a thumb ramp, and it doesn't feel right because I don't have handles on it yet. But there's so much that you can do with a knife if you think about how you're going to design it. So I never liked the K-bars that we got. They were a little bit unwieldy, and they were round, and there was limits that you could do.
He's not a Marine, so he doesn't have an emotional attachment
I
to
do.
him.
I have a USN issued, U.S. Navy issued K-bar.
Marines get hard-ons for K-bars.
I love my K-bar. Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful knife.
I don't fucking have a K-bar for some stupid-ass reason. I don't know why.
None of the knives that were ever issued to me met what I wanted, so I
Why the fuck don't I have a K-bar?
made what I wanted in a knife. So there's my little tangent. And while you guys do that, I'm going to go get my K-bar.
I just realized I just need a goddamn K-bar.
Talk to Robert. Talk amongst yourselves.
It's my turn, huh? Yeah, just me, huh? Oh, yeah, so I want to show you guys this. So, he was talking about my bracelets earlier, so... Yeah, this is my original proto. This is my nugget book. When I was a boot in the Marine Corps, my NCOs and staff NCOs made us carry these things around and for notes and shit. So I always had my pen, always got my flashlight. Two things that I swear, like this right here is the most essential. Not the knife is always on me, but this is, why don't you have any of your knives from the Marines? Well, I carried actually several of these knives. I carried in the Marine Corps. Like I said, this was my oldest knife, and it kind of just stayed with me. I mean, I've had this thing since I gotta say, like 10 years old or something. I've had this one a long time, and I've grown. And then I got, this was my Sabenza was one of the, I'd say, more high-end knives that I ended up getting while I was in the Marine Corps. And then eventually I ended up with a Fortis, and right before I got out of the Marine Corps, I made my Megalodon. So, for instance, I have a Emerson that's in pieces. That was my deployment knife. I beat the fuck out of my Emerson, and just that, fuck yeah, dude.
Now, when they issued these, they didn't do a real good job looking into it, because look what they got. So we carried these. I have the Operation Iraqi Freedom K-bar.
Dude, that's cool as fuck. See, it's badass, man. I don't know if I can have one.
So they issued these, and I already had a knife that I was carrying while we were on deployment, because it kind of more met the needs for what I had. Like I said, I don't hate cold steel. I had my cold steel SRK that I carried, and I mean, you can see this has been beat to shit.
I knew some guys that carried some of those.
Nice knife.
You got a fucking bench made right here?
Nope.
No, that's not a bench.
This was issued my second deployment. And they did it again. Operation Iraqi Freedom, Gerber Halsey 100. Not a real comfortable knife from this perspective. But if you look at my knife, what did I take some of the keys from?
I see. Yep.
But more for hooking. This knife comes in really good for hooking.
It's an interesting sheath there, too.
It's got a lock on it.
That's cute.
I think there's still blood on this.
Fuck yeah, dude.
No, don't get me wrong. I love my K-bar. I love K-bars. But they're a little bit much. They're more than you would want, and I don't like the round handle. But they are very well made. And they hold an edge really, really well.
Damn. I don't know. I just love a K-bar.
Well, like I said, I do too, but it was designed for a different period, a different kind of fighting. It was it was a different time when they designed that knife. Hey, buddy! Look who just joined.
Oh, hey, brother.
Hey, check out what he's wearing.
Yeah. Representing, dude. This is my dedicated video shirt, so
Yeah.
this is definitely my go-to. And even though I do have a fucking nice ass stain on it. I don't know what the hell I got. I got knife
bro,
making,
but mine's a U.S. Navy K-bar.
knife making jizz on it or something.
Knife making jizz. Here, let's cut that out of there.
I have no idea what it is.
You know what I like? You know what I like the most about this?
It's like, I don't know, some sort of fucking...
The sheaths on K-bars are so simple, but so well made. I mean, they really are. I got one of these for my dad. I tried to get him one of the USN ones, and
It's
it
like
was
reinforced. It has
It's got
rivets
like
all the way around.
it's got rivets, and then it's got some hard plastic or some plastic in between.
Yeah, the welt is actually
it's
reinforced.
Reinforced
type
with
of,
some sort of
Wait, hold on.
nylon or something.
Yeah, let me see that.
So, George Anthony, you can always watch this. We're going to be on, whatever you missed, you can always watch this on Robert's YouTube channel or my YouTube
brother.
channel. So we're doing a
that's awesome.
simulcast if you want to do it. It's going to be on 3 different platforms.
Yo, what was that shit you like tagged me in? What was that shit called? It was some weird fucking name. You
What?
like yesterday you posted it was like your announcement. I don't know, it was like some YouTube channel it was like tagged on. Or not YouTube, Instagram page.
Oh, I changed my Instagram page.
No. You like tagged. See, I'm drawing a blank here. I don't have is my tablet?
Well, let's go to my Instagram.
Yeah, pull up your fucking Instagram. I was curious. There was like, you tagged me in something, and you said there's something about it was some video shit. There's like a whole YouTube page about it. I think it was that one.
Which one?
No, go. Oh, that one. That's the center one.
That was me. I said collaboration, prep for the collaboration
No,
video.
that's not it.
That's not it?
It was maybe it's the most recent one. The battle.
This one?
Let's see.
When
that's
you
not
realized that the TV in your daughter's room is nicer than one in
No,
yours,
no,
and you
no.
packed the PS4
Maybe it is
upstairs.
that one with us, the pretty faces.
That's us. And
Click
that's so
it.
it's just
Click.
Robert
Makeover. What's that?
Oh, so okay, so you guys know Makeover LLC is a friend of mine. He does the super high end vapes.
Oh yeah, brother.
Hey, George Anthony, you still need to get a hold of me. I want to make sure that you've got everything set. I don't want to see you guys pay more for your liability than you have to. I have ways.
Insurance.
I have ways of getting you a better deal through Lloyd's of London and things like that. I just because veterans giving back to veterans. I won't make any money on it, but I want to make sure that you don't get raked over to Kohl's. So
Yeah, man.
if you get a good deal, you're getting a good deal. But that's all there is to it. I'm taking this out of mine. I probably should have stopped it. Yeah, be careful with that. That is
this
stupid
thing
sharp.
is friggin- Yeah, you missed it, bud. This is
And we have this. Because now we're back with you guys because Robert's GoPro just died. And so now this means there's going to be some differences between the two videos. Which means
That's
you've
right.
got to go. You have to go to both channels.
Yep.
That's just the way it works.
What it's gonna be, but yeah, I was just saying this ceramic coating, super freaking tough. Like,
It is. It's...
I beat on this thing sometimes when I'm like just walking by like bushes and stuff. I like chop them. Yeah, I like to cut them.
I do that too. Just be walking. I took the dog for a walk with the wife out at the woods down at the one park while my daughter was at her advanced math class the one time, and I forget what knife I had in my pocket, and I pull. Oh, it was my Microtech DOC, and I'm just walking along and I just chopping off stuff. She's like, "What is wrong with you?" I was like, "I'm a guy. This is what we do. We're retarded."
When I was carrying your DOC, I did the same thing.
It's like having a little folding axe in your pocket.
It's got a nice amount of weight up at the top of the blade because of the way that it's ground, and it just kind of lopped right through some bushes.
So you guys that don't know, I did a video about it. My Microtech DOC was the first production knife, high-end production knife that I bought. I had some custom knives. I had some really expensive custom knives, and I had some stuff like I had a couple of really nice knives that I had bought, expensive knives, $1,200-$1,300 knives, that just sat in the safe because I had a Decepticon 2. I had a couple of the I can't think of it now, but at any rate, so I bought that DOC and it was so much better than those custom knives. Not better, but like more met the bill because I was able to hold it. I knew what I was getting into, and that knife still is in my waistband 90%. So you can ask Robert. There's probably not a day that I'm in jeans that it's not in my waistband. Doesn't sit too well in slacks, but it does really in jeans. But yeah, it's an amazing little knife.
Yeah, it's nice to carry. I mean, the clip, it has some hot spots, like just the way it's shaped, but you could actually, I waistband carry all my knives, and I waistband carried it, and it actually sat really well,
especially with that little lanyard. You can reach in and grab it. It's nice and deep.
It's that was that's a collaboration with Strider.
Yeah, it was basically it's what a Strider could have been if Mick knew what he was doing. So Mick had to take his. I'm not gonna pull any punches. I don't like Mick Strider because his knives are way overpriced. They're garbage. I was out at Nowpack one day. Yeah, fuck it. I've had some beer.
What, brand new knife?
Brand new knife. I showed up and I was like, "Hey, is Andy around?" Because I wanted to talk to Andy, and I was looking at the Striders. I was playing with. I was like, "Man, this thing's got some lock stick, really bad." She's like, "Yeah, and that's why Andy's on his way to Escondido." I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Yeah, we just had a Strider come in, brand new knife, snapped it open, and it wouldn't close." I was like, "How the fuck are you charging $500+ for a knife that you can't use?" So, like I said, Mick, to get a fucking knife that a Strider that was correct, he had to go to Anthony Marfione and say, "Hey, can you fix all the issues with this and make it right?"
Shots fired.
That's basically what it was. Oh, fuck him, dude. He's a douchebag.
So fucking.
I have tried to reconcile myself with the fact that he falsified his fucking military career. He tried to say that he did all this fucking spec war shit. He said he was fucking Yeah, you know what? I give up. The dude's a douchebag.
I don't even pay any mind to it.
Past a douchebag, he's actually a douche nozzle.
I've never been a fan of his knives. I don't think they're fucking great.
The design is there.
Same thing over and over and over.
Okay, so what are you going to say about Todd Begg? He makes 3 knives and makes them over and over and over and over again.
It's just one of those, alright, like, hey, there's some knives.
No, don't get me wrong. Todd Begg's knives are nice. They're really, really good.
Too bad that these aren't made the same way they used to be.
The differences between this one and this one are glaringly apparent here.
I'm not saying there's something wrong with making the same knife. What I'm saying is, you got to get better at making the same knife.
Let's gesticulate with the knife for a while.
And
got
better.
Here, get up here close. Pop yours open. No, I mean just like thumb it open. Don't snap it.
What do you mean? That's how I always open it.
I know, but just let's do it so it sounds the same.
What do you mean, like slow?
Slow. Listen to lockup. You hear the difference? There's a difference between my brand new Sebenza and his old school Sebenza. You know why? Because Chris Reeves lost the company in a divorce and is no longer there to do the the quality control. Now, this is still an above average knife. I don't want to say it's not. Is yours S35 or S30V? Do you remember? It's not going to be on it.
No, it's I want to say it's S30.
I like the S30V better than the S35VN.
No, actually, I think it is marked, bro. I think there's like a little India. I know it's on the card.
You can look at the date. You can look at the date and figure out what year it was made. Yeah. Who did what?
I'll let you guys know. I'll check it out when I get home.
Who did that? This one? Are you talking about this one right here?
What are you talking about? Who did what?
Talking about this because we each have one. We each have a Sebenza. They are The same knife. They are Chris Reeves knives. They're Spenza's. I love my. Don't get me wrong. I love my Spenza. I wouldn't get rid of it again. I had the one that I sold. My wife and kid just came home.
Yay.
But I mean, they look the same. Well, no, there's even differences in the chamfers and everything. We've done this before. There's some minor differences in the chamfers, but yours is how old?
Oh, this is I want to say.
Oh, who lied about the military? Mick Strider. You can look it up online. Mick Strider was a E2 in the military, and apparently said that he did all this crazy. Hey, kiddo, you want to come say hi to YouTube?
Hey,
Come up in the middle. There's the skater back from skating. She did her stretching this morning. My God, it's insane. She can do a full minute of doubles on a jump rope now. She wants to throw up at the end, but she can do it.
We need to bring her over so you could have some fun training her, George Anthony.
Oh, George. Hey, George Anthony, I'll tell you what.
Man, this kid.
Send me a DM. I have you on DM. I'm going to send you my actual phone number. Send me yours. I'm going to send you a video. I have a video of her abs when she laughs. Everybody thinks she has ribs. Those aren't her ribs. She has striations in her fucking obliques. Isabel, come here.
You're embarrassing her.
Make a muscle. Make a muscle. Yeah.
Show those guns.
Go like
Show
this.
those guns. Yeah.
No. Really make them like make it hard, like really tight and close. Yeah. Look at those. Look at her pecs, bro.
Oh, dude. Gun show.
That's George Anthony. I think you met him the one time.
It was my drill instructor.
He was his drill instructor in the Marine Corps.
Yep.
So this video has really gone off the rails, and that's what we were hoping for.
Where are we at?
Almost 2 hours. Who cares? Almost 2 hours of video.
Yep.
But the thing is, I mean, I'm gonna do some editing, and yours is just basically gonna be at the end.
Put right onto YouTube.
Put right onto YouTube. I'm gonna put some editing in, and I'm gonna put some funny pictures in. Okay.
Yeah. You know, I'm sure he could tone it down a little bit. You know, I'm sure he wouldn't be. It won't be the same training I got, but it'll be good training. It'll be good training. It'll be smart.
Well, in all honesty, she could probably come in and help you instruct.
Very smart kid, man. She answered the phone earlier, and I was like, oh, wow, it's like
almost an adult.
Yeah,
like I have a secretary.
Yeah, I was like, all right. Take a message for Mike Ibler.
This is Mike Emler's phone. Can I take a message, please? What? Huh? Mike Emler's phone. Isabel speaking. What? What is going on? Does he have a receptionist now?
That's what you should do for your voicemail. You should just have her say it. You know, like, hello, you've reached the office of Mike Emler.
I need to change.
He's currently unavailable right now.
I need to change my. I just realized I need to change my voicemail because I am now an insurance agent, and I'm pretty sure that people don't want to hear if you're trying to get a hold of me about a knife.
Well, there's like some feedback actually. Like when you actually listen to it, it's like you recorded your voicemail with all kinds of other stuff going on in the background. So.
I probably did. I may have done it at a bar.
Yeah, it actually, yes, I think you might have been at Holmes or something.
There's a good chance that that's where I did it.
Yeah, like, oh man, I didn't.
So I was going to show you guys something. So you guys are my YouTube followers. Isabel, bring me the little knife. Where'd she go? So my father.
She's quick.
My father is the person that instilled in me a love of knives. When I was a good bit younger than my daughter, I got a knife. I think I was 5 or 6, and my dad got me a little pocket knife that I still carry to this day. Been to 16% of the countries in the world, rode around in my pocket in Iraq, Kuwait, Afghanistan. My father actually made knives occasionally as well. Yo, that's unique, bro.
That's a wild ass thing right there.
So my father made this. Can you bring me that little knife? Is that
made out of a lawnmower blade?
No, this is made. As a matter of fact, what it was he was being lazy.
Saw blade.
No, this is a corn cutter. So a corn cutter is like a thin machete. It's basically that wide, and you use it for cutting down corn stalks.
Right.
Who is this? American Steelworks.
It's Matt.
Matt,
What's up,
hey,
Matt?
what's up, bro? We've been doing this for almost 2 hours now.
No.
Yeah, we've been doing it for about 2 hours.
GoPro died and everything.
So my father, so you guys can see it here. My father made this because what it was if you look at how it's balanced, we used to do Frontier Days. And he made this for me to use as a throwing knife for Frontier Days. And it's just about perfect.
Oh, let me see that, dude. I don't think you ever showed me this one.
No, because I forgot I even had it. I forgot it came home. And I sharpened it. Yeah, it's old. It's
Nice.
really old. He made that. Oh, I think I was my daughter's age. I'm 43, and he made that when I was my daughter's age. But the whole thing was, it was. I liked it. I always liked it because it had some utilitarian. So you have, yeah. See,
there's like all these points where you could really like get in and you could push down on it.
it was a front. He wanted to make a frontiersman style blade, and we didn't have money for anything. So he wanted a frontiersman style blade for me.
Clipping.
Yeah, some clipping. But here's the other thing.
There you go.
So if you get way up here, I basically now have a small skinning blade.
Yeah, there's some nice belly up on that.
Yeah, there's a big belly up on that, and it was already tempered. It wasn't too thick, and it takes a really good edge because it was made for a cutting tool.
That's interesting, man. It's cool. You good? What's up?
Okay, great. Yeah, I know I'm old, man. I know. We go through this all the time. He calls me old.
I will be 25 in December.
I'm almost 43. I'm damn near 43. Problem with this is you got to be careful because right here where that little rivet is,
Yeah.
if you get your finger there,
Oh yeah, it gets you.
but it holds an edge really well because there's not even really a nick because it hits that every time you're in and out of the sheath.
It's like a little stop. Your dad made that shit?
Yeah,
Dude, that's cool.
my dad was pretty creative, old dude. I miss him. There's a lot of times. I think I put it in a YouTube video. I think I told you about it. I was. We were talking about moonshine, and then somebody said something about mead, making mead. And I told somebody, my dad makes mead from honey. He makes mead all the time. And they're like, oh, what kind of recipe do you use? And I was like, well, I don't know. Let me call him. And I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot. My dad died. You know, talking about having a bad afternoon after that? That's rough. When you forget that your dad died. But it just became so commonplace I would call my dad about things like that. You know, it is what it is. It's just, you know, it was just all of a sudden it hit me. I was like, oh yeah, I can't make that call. It just sucks. But it's life. It happens. It happened. Everything happens for a reason.
That's right, buddy. I don't know. We're all just
I was like, oh, whose knife is... Oh, that's my knife. That's... I was like, oh, wow, that's a nice looking carbon fiber handle. Hi, sweetheart.
yeah, we're all just kind of. I don't know. My favorite movie is Forrest Gump, and
We watched that at Helms yesterday, actually.
we're all just floating on a breeze.
So, let's see. What haven't we talked about that's on the table? I think we've hit everything on the table. What do we got as far as things that you got coming out?
All right. Well, I'm doing a lot of copper bolstered and brass bolstered folders. So, like I was saying earlier, you guys have been following, and you will see in this video. So, I'm gonna be doing. They're all gonna be bolstered. They're copper and brass. So they'll have matching bolsters and backspacers. And some of the Leviathans, I'm changing up. They're all going to be different versions of the Leviathan model that I have. And the reason being is that I'm experimenting with some different shapes and flows of the knife, and it's really just evolving is what is happening with them right now. And actually the current 3 models I have right now are really just setting up for my next set of designs that I'm going to be releasing.
Hi, Pop.
And there's just going to be a series of essentially prototypes. They're just going to keep coming out. And
Every one of your knives is like a prototype.
yeah, really, they
Never
are.
the same.
Each one, yeah, is just the one I just did that I got lying around right here. That is will be get shipped out.
There it is. Man, I like
It's
that.
going to be sent out Monday.
I wish you could have gotten more for that.
It's my first knife with more than one bolster on it. Like, you know, it's both sides. So I have done bolsters on both sides, but I didn't do the butt end, and this is the first time I did one like that.
Don't lie, you've done the butt end before.
You know, on a knife though.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Like,
Move done.
it's just, you know, it's like it was a first for me. But the reason I was able to do it and I was more confident about doing it is because I took the time and I made a fixture plate for the mill, and like as you guys saw, Matt, Brandon, and Luke, you guys saw me do it last night. You know, machining the bolsters is freaking super simple now. Like,
Cheers.
it's a no-brainer.
Are you gonna drink a beer or what?
No, buddy.
I can't drink this whole
Yeah.
growler by myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I can. I probably shouldn't.
I'm gonna be I gotta drive later. Yeah. Nah.
I don't.
Yeah. So no, I won't be sharing that with you, buddy. But I did taste it earlier.
Yeah, it's pretty good though. They have a new batch of Guricino coming out.
Yeah. So this run I think I have not an exact number. I have maybe 15 or so more knives that I have that will have lock bars that are visible. And then the next set of knives that start coming out, once those are all gone, you're not going to see any more lock bars.
You're gonna see? Are you just doing liners? Liner locks?
I'm going to do sub
frame
locks. Yeah. So sub frame locks, pretty much.
You heard me say it when I did the review about his Megalodon. I'm not a fan of liner locks, but I mean that one you just can't argue. It's fucking awesome for his Gen 1 Megalodon. So you guys on my YouTube channel, we're gonna cut it now. He is gonna save the last half of this on his Instagram feed so that you guys can go back and watch what you're gonna miss now. His GoPro actually died, so there's gonna be some differences, and I'm gonna do some editing because there's stuff in here that doesn't necessarily need to be in. So
Stout.
I'll see you guys next time.